My name is Michaela Akridge, and this is my social problems project, Care Work in the Family. While I was deciding on my three topics, I was looking at them from a functionalism perspective. Basically, this means looking at parts of society to see what purpose they serve. Each topic was very important to me, and while I ended up with researching the effects of caring for family members on the caregivers, I found interesting takes on how schools teach our children topics outside of education and how cancel culture affects our morals. No separation of school and state is a common stance that schools are seen as institutions to teach children how to act in society, not as a place of learning. Schools adhere to a set schedule, cliques are formed, and bullying or violently teaching others to adhere to standards set by the general populace is prevalent. And then with cancel culture is, should we hold people like authors, celebrities, and influencers at a higher level than the rest of us because they put themselves in the spotlight? And how do we separate an artist's work from the artist without feeling guilty of portraying our morals? Now that I had chosen a topic, it was time to define the problem. Our culture as a whole is individualistic, independent, and proud. We pride ourselves in standing out among the crowd, and typically needing help is seen as weak or begging. This isn't a stance that goes away the older you get, so when families are faced with the reality of aging loved ones, they have a few options. Money is a factor, yes, and another factor is ensuring loved ones still have that sense of independence. This is where children and grandchildren step in, but the real question is who takes care of the caregivers. Thankfully, I found good resources on this topic, including opinions from healthcare professionals and perspectives from home care workers. Reading these sources led me to the hypothesis that people who take care of their elder family members have a higher chance of obtaining a disorder such as depression or anxiety, even after ending the care, than those who don't take care of elderly family members. For me, it was easy to use the interview process as my research method. While they weren't in person and instead via text, these interviews brought to light unique perspectives. For example, one interviewee took care of her mother who only spoke Spanish. I have also found in the interview process that those that do care for elderly family members typically have to take pay cuts, learn new skills, and rearrange their personal lives to take care of elderly family members. The experiences that were collected via interview can provide insight on how to better take care of those who sacrifice a lot to ensure a comfortable life for their family members. The questions in question include: when did you start actively caring for your family member? In as much or little detail you'd like, describe daily routines. As you were caring for your family member, did you learn anything that you wouldn't have otherwise? How has family care work affected you as a caregiver? Were there alternatives for care that you considered? If so, what was the driving factor that led you to decide family care work as the best course of action? Is or was there anything you did regarding self-care? And did or do you feel there are adequate resources or support for you and other caregivers? All questions were impartial. None of the interviews included talk of learning medical techniques or equipment. But two of the three interviewees stated they felt resources were inadequate, while one acknowledged they had personal help from their family at one point in time. One interviewee stated that she did not participate in self-care as she cared for her family member at all, and that the family member did not live with her personally. Two participants stated that those they cared for still desired their independence. In the end, I walked away from this project with three key takeaways. Self-care is important when participating in family care work. There are not as many resources or outside help in rural areas than urban areas for caregivers, and even in the later years of life, independence is still an attribute people desire to have. Thanks for watching.